Hello students, good morning to all. Myself Dr. Nazim Ahmed. Welcome to online class. Regarding applied chemistry, in the previous class, we discussed about leather chemistry, some basic principles and some definitions, and also leather processing of some various stage. As you know very well, the manufacture of leather is one of the oldest technological profession. In olden days, man would turn or dress skin, and when he required it and before it putrefied. As the demand for special qualities in the leather became greater, the processes became more complicated and required special skill, tools, plant and machinery. This lead to the growth of tanneries, collection of skins over large areas, producing and selling the special products to the different parts of the world. Now, as we saw in the previous class, some skins may be exported as a vegetable turned condition and conveniently air dried or salted. It is also exported in wet chrome tan condition. Leather is the product of meat industry. Leather is the product of meat industry, and before that it was that is what we called hides and skin. In the previous class we saw the definition about hides and skin. Hides are nothing but the outer covering of big domestic animals like cow, buffalo, camel, etc. Whereas in the case of skin is nothing but the outer covering of small domestic animal such as sheep, goat, etc. So dear students, tannage. The hides and skin are now tanned by whichever method is appropriate, using vegetable tans, chrome, alum or oil, etc. Now, after tannage, the order of these process varies considerably for different types of leathers. So before tannage in normal, that is flaying, curing, washing, liming, unhairing, flushing, deliming, batting, pickling. The first thing is the flaying, F-L-A-Y-I-N-G, flaying is to remove the skin from the animal. Curing or soaking, to preserve skin during transport or storage. Washing, to restore cured hides and skin to a natural raw condition. Liming is to loosen hair, fat, flesh, etc., and make the skin ready for tanning. The main purpose of tanning of liming is to make ready for tanning. Unhairing, to remove the hair. Flushing, to cut away unwanted fat and flesh. Deliming, to neutralize the alkali. Batting, to make skin softer and cleaner. And the last one is pickling, to bring the skin to the right acidity for tannage. In the previous class, we saw the anatomical structure of raw hides and skin. The outer layer is said to be epidermis, whereas the inner layer is said to be corium. The inner layer is said to be corium. Whereas regarding the different parts of the skin, first we discuss the different parts of the skin. Hair. The hair are embedded in the skin, each in a sheath of epidermis, is known as the hair follicle, and each has a hair root at its end, which is fed by a tiny blood vessel. Hair consists of keratin protein. Hair consists of keratin protein. The lining of hair follicle is also made up of keratin proteins. As we discuss, in the case of structure of the hides and skin, fresh hides and skin consist of water. Please make note of it. Fresh hides and skin consist of water, protein, fatty materials, and some mineral salts. Out of these, the most important for leather making is the protein. Out of these, the most important for leather making is the protein. These proteins are of many types. The two important proteins are, one is the collagen, 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 and keratin, keratin. Now the collagen, it is a water insoluble fibers. Protein of great strength leather is almost pure collagen. Whereas keratin, make note of it, which is the chief constituent of hair. Make note of it. Keratin, keratin, which is the chief constituent of hair. Wool, wool, wool. Horn, 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 and the epidermal structures. Now the approximate composition of a fresh flayed hide is also we discussed in the previous slides, in the previous classes. What is that? So the compositions, whereas it contains water around 60 to 70%, whereas the protein around 33%, fats around 2%, mineral salts around 0.5%, whereas the other substance, pigment, etc. like 0.58%. Now the first process of tanning is trimming. The trimming is done by hands to remove any protein of the hide that could interfere with the subsequent machine process. Example, the shanks, ears, and snout. Trimmed hides are sorted for size and weight, formed into batches. Before that, the laborers, they are making into according to size as well as weight for different batches. Now the second process is soaking. SOAKING, soaking. Soaking hides and skin enter the tannery in the various states of cure and should be stored properly. Dried hides should be kept in a cool, dry atmosphere and precaution should be taken against insect attack. Dry salted hides require similar condition but should be kept separate from dried hides. So that soaking is a process of rehydration of preserved raw hides or skin. The objectives of soaking are rehydration, removal of dirt, manure, blood, preservatives. I repeat once again. The main objective, what is the main objective? What is the purpose? Why we are doing soaking? Generally, in our home, before we are going to wash our dresses, we are going to soak in a bucket by using water and detergent or by means of soap. We are soaking for around 3 to 4 hours. The main purpose is to remove the dirt very easily. So here also the main objectives of is rehydration, removal of dirt, manure, blood and preservatives. Now for which what are the chemicals to be used is soda ash and sodium carbonate, caustic soda and sodium hydroxide. Operation where it is done. So where the process is done, that is soaking is carried out in a quantity of water which is double the weight of hides and skin. In this stage, bacterial spores, dirt, blood and salt are washed out. So if time permits, in future we will go to industrial visit to visit some tanneries so that you can get clear idea. So just assume there is a number of water pits, or we call it as water tanks, which is made in number of around 20, 25, 30, depends on the tannery, what we call as the process, the tannery's ability. So the soaking, so before that I already told you the laborers will trimmed hides are stored for size as a weight according to the number of the split in number of batches. So according to that it contains full of water. As we discussed, the chemicals we used for to remove the dirt, blood and salt are washed out. Then soaking is carried out in quantity of water which is 4 to 5 times the weight of the hides and skin, and soaking agents and bactericides are used. So 4 to 5 times. And one important point, remember, so this water that is from the soaking department, from the the process, pickling, liming, deliming, batting process. So these waters are collectively stored in a collection tank. After that, that will be process to remove the that is we call as a that is the process is called effluent treatment plant. Understand? To remove the hardness of water. Now here the quality to be maintained is around it will take around a duration of that is 1 day, that is 24 hours, 20 to 24 hours. Agitate the drum for 10 minutes interval of every hour. So every 10 minutes there will be some agitation, the shaking, so that it may be turned. Next the process is liming process. Liming is a process in which hides are soaked in an alkali solution. It performed using a drum and pedal or a pit. liming process is to be done to remove the liming process is done to remove the epidermic layer. And the another objectives of this liming is swelling of fiber bundles. Understand? So the hides and skin which having the fiber bundles, that should be swelling of fiber and bundles into individual fibers and splitting of fibers into fibrils. And the next important thing is to remove the natural fats and grease by saponification. The inner layer of the hides and skin which contains blood, fats and greasy layer and greases. So by means of liming to remove all those things, for that we used sodium sulfide and calcium oxide. Now what is the operation when lime is sharpening with sodium sulfide, sodium sulfhydrate formed in the bath causes rapid loosening of hair. Underline, make note of it, loosening of hair, whereas caustic soda is a solution causes vigorous plumbing of hides fibers due to its strong alkalinity, and also saponifies the natural fat in the hides and skin. So now what is the quality control? Is we should maintain the pH is around an important factor by means of pH paper or pH meter to be checked carefully, that is around 12 to 12.5, and the duration is around 24 hours, around 24 hours. The next process is flushing. Flushing is carried out removal of sticky flesh from the side of the skin or hide on flushing machine by hands is called flushing. Flushing is to remove sticky flesh from the sides of the skin or hide. Just now I told it contains in the inner layer what are the blood, greasy, this thing will be removed. At the same time some of the flushes will be stick on it while removing the animals. So is done by means of machine or by hand, is called flushing. The fifth one is deliming. It is an intermediate process between liming and pickling. The deliming operation in leather processing is a processing in a drum or pedal or pit based operation. Three methods can be used here. One is the drum technique or pedal or pit based operation. Fully delimed pelt, that is intermediate between the liming and what we call as pickling. The delimed pelts produces softer leather, while half delimed pelts produce hard types leather. Okay, so this is the desalting machine. The second image, it shows that desalting machine. Now what is the main objective? What is the aim? Why to do? What is the aspect behind that? Is that lowering the pH from 12 to 12.5 to 8 to 9. Okay, 8 to 9, whereas remove the lime, remove the excess lime, remove swelling and plumbing effect, remove the swelling and plumbing effect, and deep pelting the pelt. Now deliming chemicals, the one is the water to remove the excess of lime. So deliming to remove the excess of lime by means of water, acids, hydrochloric acid, dilute condition, sulfuric acid, which is also dilute condition, boric acid, lactic acid, formic acid, and acetic acid. Similarly, ammonium salts, ammonium chloride, ammonium sulfate, carbon dioxide, these things are to be used for deliming process. Now, operations in deliming process, the free alkali which is soluble in water is removed washing the pelts in water. After washing chemically, combined alkali is removed by neutralizing it with acids, salts, ammonium salts, or substances with acidic reaction. Now what about the quality control? pH to maintain around 8.2 to 8.8, 8.2 to 8.8, and duration depends on nature of the pelt. The next operation is batting. Batting is an enzymatic process in which non-leather making constituents such as degrade proteins, color pigments, grease, and lime soap are removed by pancreatic enzymes or proteolytic enzymes. So batting is an enzymatic process in which leather making constituents such as degrade proteins, color pigments, grease, and lime soaps are removed by means of enzyme. Now, enzyme, theoretically there are three types of batting enzymes. They are weak batting enzymes, mild strong batting enzymes, strong batting enzymes. There are two types available commercially. They are alkali bat and the other one is the acid bat, BATE. Operations: wash the pelts and then to carry out partial deliming. In final deliming, the temperature is raised and the bat is added. Quality control, pH is around 7.5 to 8. How can we check? By means of pH meter or pH paper. Cross section test. Drip naphthalene in the cross section of the pelt and it is turned completely colorless, then batting has finished by means of naphthalene indicator. If it is colorless, so the batting process is completely finished. So this is the batting process. It is a further step in the purification of the hide prior to tanning, making it cleaner, smoother and fine. That is the main important. Skins are delimed at a pH of around 7.5 to 8 and washed. In batting method, the hide or skin usually pedal or drummed in water at 37 degrees Celsius with addition of the powdered enzyme mixture. Powdered enzyme mixture. Point to be noted. Powdered enzyme mixture. Okay. Now it is important to maintain the pH and temperature accurately. It is important to maintain the pH and temperature accurately, and slight variation give a great loss of batting power. The next process is pickling. It is a process to treat the hide with salt and acid to bring the skin to the desired pH. Desired pH for either preservation or tanning. The treatment of de-lined pelts with a solution of acid and salt is known as pickling. What is the main objective? Is preserve the pelt for further treatment down from 7.5 to 2.8. The main object, what is the main aim of making pickling is to preserve the pelt for long time, and the acidity the pelt, the pH bring down from 7.5 to 2.8. Next, the oxidize hair, root and remove their remains after liming. And the fourth one, remove all swelling and plumbing. Remove all swelling and plumbing. Fifth one is produce softer, thinner white pelt. Produces softer, thinner white pelt, whereas reduce astringency of chrome tanned leather. Now what about the operations? The pickle and degree of pickling are of great importance in determining the quality of leather and the speed of the tannage. Pelts are introduced in the pickled liquor, salt and diluted acid in water for 10 minutes. The starting pH is around 1.7 to 2 of pickled path, with gradually increases from 2.7 to 3 due to absorption of acid by the pelts. So we use the salts and acid and quality controls around 7 point, that is 2.6 to 2.9, and cross section set does not be discussed. So before that, the pre-tanning beam house operation, remember, one is the trimming, soaking, liming, flushing, deliming, batting, and the last one is pickling. So this is the pre-tanning process. Next we pass on to tanning process in the next class. Thank you.